Today, I want to cover a little bit around the future of work. I get a lot of questions from the audience around what exactly are the jobs of the future? How do you get prepared for a role in data science and AI? And what do you need to do to keep your jobs very relevant? So I want to start with something that clarifies jobs versus skills. So certain roles that are known today with data engineers or prompt engineers, etc., absolutely might change and evolve in the future. There was a report that said that the jobs that are needed for 2050, 80% of them are not even known today. What that means is, depending on the technology, depending on the capabilities companies are building, the jobs and their roles and the definitions will change. But what will really endure and remain is skills. And I want to talk about skills today, really. So the way I look at it, and having worked with so many organizations and what they ask for in terms of what's needed, I think if I could just simplify it, if you can visualize three circles and, there's a little bit of a common Venn diagram, you need to be at least heavy in one or in two and then collaborate with a third. And what I mean by that is data science in statistics, machine learning and modeling, that's the first circle. So if you have a fan about math, I would suggest that's your career path. The second definitely is software engineering, which is changing as we know it. So a lot of low code, no code and new tools coming and AI doing coding that will evolve, but taking some of those models and the math behind it and making it usable, making it explainable and making the interaction with the users is something that software engineers still need to do. And then the third one is business domain. It's around knowing the nuances of business that'll be important. Let's make this real. Let's talk about an insurance example where, let's say, you're doing a policy rating for doing rating around auto insurance. So the first circle, data science, we know that there's a lot of data these days that are very enriching for data scientists, people who can crunch math, things like zip codes, how much they're spending, how much they're driving, the distances they're driving, what's their history, things like that. That can be used to crunch and kind of come up with some rating around the risk that driver poses in terms of auto insurance. Now, taking that and putting into an application, putting it on cloud or on-prem, understanding where there might be drift as the usage happens, understanding where the nuances need to be fine-tuned is the job of a software engineer. But then comes a domain expert who understands things like, what can you really use? Are you putting too much bias in the data? Is there some realms of the data that are kind of almost illegal in terms of compliance and regulatory issues that need to be used? And how do you actually make sense of all these numbers to come up with the right product?